Please be seated. We didn't rehearse this part. All right, let's do that. Good morning. Welcome, class of 2024, parents, grandparents, trustees, faculty, staff, students, and all of our special friends and relatives. Welcome to the 2024 graduation at Greensboro Day School. At this time, I want to start with a little bit of gratitude. Would the members of the Board of Trustees who are here please stand? Let's give them a round of applause. They are a wonderful group of volunteers who work to ensure the strategic goals of the school are met. They also work really hard to support me, and for that I'm very grateful. This time, I'd like to ask our faculty and staff to stand. Faculty and staff, you are the real GOATs. You are the heart and soul of this institution, and I'm humbled by your passion, compassion, and service to our students every day. I'm grateful and honored to work alongside you every single day. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. And parents, I'm not going to ask you to stand, but you're the VIPs today, making those endless Target runs for class supplies, driving to countless games, practices, performances, and school days, navigating the emotional roller coaster of raising teens, striking that balance between freedom and boundaries, paying that tuition bill. Congratulations, you paid the last tuition bill at GDS, and for many of you, those were 14 years of tuition bills. But parenting is really hard work, and I thank you for the love and support you've shown the seniors over the years, and thank you for investing in a Greensboro Day School education. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, seniors, we've got GOATs and VIPs. This morning, you're the MVPs. Our community is excited to celebrate you for all of your educational accomplishments, but mostly for who you are as people. I thank you, and I know I speak for the faculty and staff, we thank you for your collective contributions, everything that you have done and brought our school. You've made us better teachers, counselors, coaches, and you've certainly made me a better head of school. You've dazzled us with your artistic performances on the stage. You've problem solved. You've pitched solutions to CEOs in the local business community. You have written scholarly essays. You've done so much, and we're so proud of you. You've stolen our hearts and broken records on the field, on the courts, and on the stage. You're state champions. Thank you for your countless contribution. You have made us better teachers, coaches, and I just said that, so I'm going to go to the next thing. And let me thank you and congratulate you on this. You have survived a year of that million-dollar question. What colleges are you applying to? What college are you going to? So congratulations on answering that question to just about everybody in this room for this past year. But now it's time to get ready for the next few questions. Like, what's your major gonna be? Where are you gonna do that internship next summer? So be ready. But what you really wanna be focused on right now is your transition to college. Be thinking about how to embrace dorm life. Buy those flip-flops for the restroom. Trust me on that one. Start practicing your laundry skills. Head to Costco or Target and stock up on the ramen noodles. You're gonna need those. And when you get to college, find the local pizza joint that delivers at 2 a.m. and know that when classes do start, the group projects, that's still a thing in college. Actually, when you get out of college, life is one big group project. So be ready for that. And I think most importantly, be prepared when you get there, whether you're 30 miles away or 300 miles away, to stay in touch and connected with all the people who love and care for you. Stay in touch with your families. Call them at least once a week. It'll also make that call a lot easier when you call to ask for a little extra money once in a while. And while those are the simpler things to think about as you transition to college, there are bigger challenges that we've prepared you for. When a world is filled with political animosities, global wars, and social media noise, human connections break and distrust becomes a plague. We've taught you to enter the world with open eyes, open ears, and open hearts. How we view each other in the world is not just from our eyes, but it's from our own life experiences, our own personal memories, beliefs, spiritual faith, love, fears, convictions, and desires. That's how we experience the world. And David Brooks said it best. He says, people don't see the world with their eyes. They see it with their life experiences. In his book, How to Know a Person, if we want to really understand humanity, we have to focus on the thoughts and emotions of individuals, not just about data that's about groups. Learning how to know a person deeply is really hard, but it is the key, I really believe this, to a more sane and peaceful world. Each one of you holds the immense power within yourselves to be a constructive contributor in that way. It's amazing to see all the adults in the world fighting and dehumanizing each other on social media and on the news and just about everywhere. But you can boil it down to one reason. We're human, and we judge instead of remaining curious. We see each other through our eyes and not our life sometimes. So don't fall into that trap of hiding behind a keystroke or creating your own story about someone, or even more dangerous, creating your own story about someone from someone else's story. If you don't know their life experience, remember, you can't know them deeply. And then when you do get to know someone, you will find imperfections and you will find cracks. We all have cracks and blemishes because we're human. And hundreds of years ago, the Japanese learned how to embrace imperfections and embed them in their culture with a philosophy known as wabi-sabi. Sounds funny, but it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And in architecture and art, you'll see that. Rather than hide flaws, wabi-sabi tells us to actually highlight them. The beauty of our world is our differences, but it's not always the differences you see with your eyes. We're all full of blemishes and cracks, so be curious about those cracks, not judgmental, and try your best to really know someone. Leonard Cohen wrote 2 very simple but beautiful lines in his song. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. GDS has taught you to see the world from your life, not your eyes. Take the time to know someone, to know them deeply if you can. Embrace your own cracks and blemishes, and try to appreciate the cracks of others. And now, I'd like to welcome Director of Upper School, Ryan Cook, who's going to introduce our student speakers.
Good morning, everybody. I have the honor of introducing our 2 student speakers. Both of these graduates were elected by their peers to serve on this year's Student Council, and they have led their fellow students with grace and honor. First, we will hear from Margot Manning, our Executive Student Council President, and she will be followed by Avery Noble, the Senior Class President. Margot, please come to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Good morning. Great morning. Honored students, families, faculty, and staff. I'm Margot Manning, the Executive President. I feel so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to have been granted this platform to share some of my thoughts on this profound and wonderful occasion. Last week, caught in a state of real uncertainty, I decided to Google books to read for high school graduates. Never before in my life have I wandered into the self-help aisle, though when faced with questions like, are there things I'm supposed to know before entering this next stage of my life? What does being an adult even mean? I figured that reading a book seemed like a pretty adult choice to make. I scrolled through the options that came up and chose to read the first one that interested me, Daring Greatly, How the Courage to be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent, and Lead by Brené Brown. I thought to myself, I'm so good at being vulnerable, I bet I don't know everything in this book. Funny how maturity can be so fleeting. Anyway, I decided to listen to this book while driving to and from my senior internship every day since I had a good 30-minute commute to fill. I learned very quickly that I had a lot to learn. The book is centered around the following quote by Theodore Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows, in the ends, the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place will never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. This struck a chord with me. How beautiful is a sentiment that courage lies not in victory or fanciful adornment, but rather in the enthusiasm with which you approach something meaningful to you. That voices, whether external or the pesky ones within your own mind, don't come close to the significance of action. Now, like me, some of my peers up on this stage may relate to the fact that on some days, just getting up and going to school daily felt like entering an arena. Stepping onto the athletic field for a big game against Forsyth, or the stage on opening night, or the front of a classroom for a presentation, or even the junior backpacking trip. And yet, no matter how our hands shook or we stumbled, we're here today, all together, having braved the arena hundreds of times. At least for me, something else that made these experiences of courage so special was the moments right before and after. The bus ride to a game filled with laughter and music, the squeeze tradition before opening night, even the quiet bus ride home from a tough loss, or the camaraderie after an unfortunate quiz. It almost feels impossible to imagine life without this group. Their cheers and comments and contributions, our memories and wins and losses. It's scary to think of just moving on from this place and these people. One beacon of light we must look forward to is the success of fellow GDS graduates and alumni who have paved the path before us. Luckily for me, having been here my entire life, I've met my fair share of inspirational figures. Just this past year, I was reminiscing over my time in kindergarten, most notably meeting my senior buddy, whom I remember fondly and strikingly clearly. I don't remember much of kindergarten besides reading the Magic Treehouse books with Mrs. Hoffbauer, and of course, my buddy. Her name was Molly, she had brown hair just like me, and she taught me to fishtail braid my hair. She was strong enough to carry me, and she talked to me about drawing, a shared interest we had. I was telling all of this to Mrs. Jackson Adams and how integral Molly had been in encouraging my love of art. Mrs. J.A. immediately recognized the name as a student of hers, and we found her in the yearbook. She had been an AP art student just like me, and it made me emotional to see how similar we became. This is the wild part. Mrs. J.A. has kept up with Molly's social media over the years and gave me her account information. I followed her on Instagram, and soon after, she direct messaged me, saying she remembered me from kindergarten and our sweet memories together, as well as congratulating me on my art exhibition. This, as you can imagine, was a massive moment for me. My senior buddy recognized me, and I learned now has a prosperous career as an art therapist, having followed her passions that were ignited here at GDS. One final, pivotal moment of reflection I encountered was about a month ago on a hike. As I was walking and listening to the birds, I recognized the familiar cooing of the mourning dove. Now, this was before I realized that I had left all my snacks in the car, and soon all of my thoughts began to sound like that of Cookie Monsters, but I digress. I realized that I didn't know if the dove was named after morning time, the break of daylight, new beginnings, glittering potential, or a time of mourning, a great loss, an end of a chapter. I then imagined that the two aren't that distinguishable. Both indicate the potential brought by change, all the good and the bad and the bittersweet. Much like us today, whether you imagine these coming months with a more bitter tinge or a sigh of sweet relief, much like the identity of the mourning dove, no matter what, beautiful progress lies ahead and marks the beginning of a new chapter, another chapter of daring greatly day by day. Thank you. Now we'll hear from my peer and senior class president, Avery Noble.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, proud parents, esteemed faculty and staff, and my fellow graduates. My name is Avery Noble, and I am this year's graduating class president. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate what we have accomplished and to wish us luck as we take the next step in our lives and education. Today, we are on the last page of this chapter and poised to turn to the next. We are told that previous chapters have prepared us for this day. For me, it helps to reflect on the journey that has brought us here this morning to this significant moment. We've all learned lessons, overcome challenges, shared successes, and even suffered defeats. When I tried to capture what I've learned to share with you today, I realized that I've already done this kind of analysis before, when I bake cookies. I've always loved baking. For years, I have pulled recipes from cookbooks in my family's kitchen and devoted afternoons to making these tasty treats. Maybe I should have been doing homework or studying for a test, but over this past school year, I worked to improve my baking expertise through repetition and by incorporating more advanced skills into my craft. I would bring each batch to school to share with my friends and teachers. Some batches were better than others, all were appreciated, some were celebrated, and some were probably endured. When you set out to bake cookies or begin any task, really, you start with a vision, the final product. The perfect golden brown delicacies that not only delight the taste buds, but also warm the heart. You gather your ingredients, flour, sugar, butter, eggs, each playing an essential role in the structure and flavor of the sweet treat. Even with the best recipe in hand and the finest ingredients at your disposal, success is not a guarantee. I have made the same cookies several times, but have ended up with slightly or significantly different products. Then I have to look back and figure out what changed. Did I use a different kind of butter? Did I chill the dough for the right amount of time? When I discovered the variance, I could write notes in the margin of the pages with advice to my future self. We have already begun to do this for ourselves. Your college essay might have been a powerful reflection of the lessons you've learned and the ways you plan to apply these lessons to strive for better. This learning process might have taken place on the sports field through thousands of basketball, soccer, or lacrosse shots. With every shot, you may have fine-tuned your form, built up your power, and sharpened your focus, slowly but surely improving your game. Alternately, your growth may have been sparked by an academic setback. Perhaps there was a time when you faced a challenging quiz or a test and didn't perform as well as you hoped. But instead of letting a setback discourage you, you chose to view it as a learning opportunity. You spent time analyzing where you went wrong, sought help, and put an extra effort to make sure you did better on your next assessment. In any case, the key to growth and improvement lies in the ability to review and reflect on our past experiences, make necessary adjustments, and try again. It is about not being afraid to change your approach, whether slightly or significantly, and then recognizing and celebrating the progress we've made. As you look forward to your college journey, remember to carry these lessons with you, using every experience as a stepping stone toward improvement and success. As you navigate through the process of mixing and measuring, rolling and rising through life, there is a vital ingredient that is often overlooked. Trust. Trust the process. Trust the transformation. Baking cookies is about more than following a set of instructions. It's about surrendering to heat and time, allowing the raw dough in all its simplicity and deliciousness to change into something much grander than its individual ingredients. It's about having faith that a higher purpose is at work, even when things get sticky. As we chart through our course through life, negotiating its countless twists and turns, we often encounter challenges that seem insurmountable. But during these moments of doubt and uncertainty, we must lean into and trust the process. Just as dough needs to be kneaded, rolled, compressed, and cut out, we too must undergo our own trials and tribulations. Through these experiences, we grow, evolve, and discover we are truly made of, And just as cookies emerge from the oven transformed, we too emerge from our struggles stronger, more resilient, and more capable than ever. The most beautiful part about baking cookies, however, isn't just the end result, it's the journey itself. It's shared laughter around the kitchen counter, the intoxicating aroma wafting through the air as the cookies bake, and the joy of the first bite, and the sweet taste of success with family and friends. As we stand on the threshold of a new beginning, let's hold dear the wisdom of the cookie. Every time I set out to bake a batch, I gather the ingredients, read the steps, and pay attention to my notes in the margins. Each class we take, each internship we have, and each job we take on will provide opportunities to practice, to learn more about what is needed for success. Expect to make mistakes. Expect that all will not go according to plan. And take the time to reflect on what went right and what went wrong. Write down notes to your future self about what it takes to get it right. Let's trust the process of life. Secure the knowledge that each success was likely built on the mistakes that came before. Even when things fall apart, we can learn something that serves us for our next try. Let's savor the moment of our journey, for it is a journey that we find true fulfillment and joy. Seniors, as a reminder of the process, the transformation, and the sweet result, I have baked you all homemade cookies, and you can collect these during our reception in the alum gym. Thank you for an incredible year, and I love you guys very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Margot and Avery. Well, we'll think back to the spring of 2020 when the global pandemic took hold. The class of 2020 did not have a very traditional graduation. So, in honor of the GDS's class of 2020, the Class of 2020 Resilience Award was created and is presented annually at graduation to a member of the senior class who exhibits resilience. Please welcome James Sumner, a member of GDS's Class of 2020 and recent graduate of Wofford College, who will present this year's Class of 2020 Resilience Award. Welcome up, James.
Good morning, graduates, families, faculty, and staff. My name is James Sumner, and today I have the honor of presenting the Class of 2020 Resilience Award to a student who has exhibited the true determination and resilience. The recipient of this year's award faces each day with passion, curiosity, and perseverance. Around campus, he is known as a good friend, a deep thinker, and someone who loves to discuss and debate deep topics. He is also a true Renaissance human, an artist, a scholar, a philosopher, and a smile that will win your heart. When asked who best exhibits this award, the faculty shared the following. This student brings an air of lightheartedness to the classroom with his zany sense of humor, sharp wit, and a keen sense of timing. This student's cheerful and engaged presence was the standard bearer for the Blue Group's JBT Adventures in the Woods. This student consistently demonstrates the highest levels of kindness, curiosity, integrity, and willingness to be fully present. He will continue to be a constructive contributor to this world. This student's theatrical prowess reflects his passion and depth of commitment with which he inhabited his characters, ranging from curmudgeonly professors who love-struck critics to Santa himself. I am honored to present this year's Class of 2020 Resilience Award to Gabriel Rich.
Absolutely, thank you.
Congratulations, Gabe. Now, the Founders Award is presented each year at graduation to a member of the graduating class who best exemplifies the characteristics of scholarship, sportsmanship, and leadership. This year, I'd like to welcome David Howard, a member of GDS's Class of 1976, to present this year's Founders Day Award. David, welcome.
It's truly an honor and a privilege on behalf of the 14 founders of our school to present this year's Founders Award to a member of our senior class. Passionate, kind, intelligent, honorable, a leader, and a champion are words that are often used when describing this year's Founders Award recipient. While this student is a superb academic, one teacher is most proud of them for their tremendous integrity, noting that their character is of the highest caliber. They are always ready to lend a hand and are dedicated to service work, as evidenced by the clubs that they lead. Another teacher has highlighted this student's most outstanding quality is their high ethical standard in all circumstances. She says that this quality is recognized by their peers and teachers as well. Whether it is in the classroom or in the honor board, this student carries themselves with the utmost decorum and treats others with kindness and respect. Another teacher also shares that she is most proud of this student for their thoughtfulness and leadership. She says that they lead by example, treating others with the utmost respect, being willing to step up and take on tasks no one else will, taking on official positions in many clubs, and serving on the honor board. This year's Founders Award recipient is a member of 3 sports teams: soccer, swim, and golf. The athletics department stated that this year's recipient is the definition of a student athlete. Not only is this year's recipient a state champion on the course, he is an even better student in the classroom. His work ethic is unmatched, and he is constantly striving to improve. He lifts up his teammates on the golf course and is always willing to listen and help them improve. His swim coach noted that his leadership and teamwork inspire the group and create a more cohesive unit. As one swimmer said, "Carson, it is better with you here." It brings me great pleasure to present this year's Founders Award to Carson Goodrich.
Congratulations, Carson. Okay. Next, I get to do the Distinguished Alumni Award. And it's a well-known fact that Greensboro Day School alumni go on to do extraordinary things. Talk to any one of our alumni. In recognition of the excellent work and service accomplished by our alumni, the Greensboro Day School Alumni Association established the Distinguished Alumni Award in 1991. This award is presented annually at graduation to an alumna or alumnus who best exhibits at least one of the following qualities: extraordinary service to the city of Greensboro, the state of North Carolina, or the nation; extraordinary distinction in one's field of specialization, and/or extraordinary service in society and corresponding tangible benefit to fellow citizens. This year's recipient is Jeffrey Staten, class of 2003. I'm going to go off script for a second. I moved here from Kentucky about 5 years ago. You're going to know why I'm wearing this hat in just a second. Jeffrey's not here, and you're going to hear why he's not here in just a second as well. Jeffrey Staten was a lifer at Greensboro Day School, as well as a multi-sport varsity athlete, thespian, and president of his senior class. Following graduation, he attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he was accepted into their competitive athletic training program. He continued his education at University of Kentucky, and after graduating from Kentucky, he worked stints at High Point University, UNC, and University of South Florida. At each university, he was a leader in creating collaborative strategies to ensure all aspects of the student-athlete's health and performance were considered. In 2017, he was chosen by the Hall of Fame coach John Calipari, Coach Cal. He's now at Arkansas. He was the athletic trainer for Team USA in U19 2017 and the FIBA World Cup in Cairo, Egypt. In 2017, Jeffrey served with the NBA as an assistant athletic trainer for the Phoenix Suns. But it didn't take long for Coach Cal to recruit him back to Kentucky, where he has been the head athletic trainer for the Kentucky's men's basketball program for the last 5 years. In 2022, the University of Kentucky honored him with the Lemon T. Johnson Torch of Excellence Award. This award recognizes African-American members of the UK community whose faith, hard work, and determination have positively impacted other people's lives. We congratulate Jeffrey on his many outstanding achievements in athletic training, which have helped change the lives of so many, and we are honored to recognize him today. Jeffrey couldn't be here today because he just took a position with an NBA team, the Brooklyn Nets. So he has shared words that I'm going to share with you on his behalf. So from Jeffrey, I am both honored and humbled to receive this award and sincerely thank whoever felt I deserved this special recognition. I want to thank God, my beautiful wife, Christy, and our amazing son, Tristan. I want to thank my parents and family for their continued love and support in what I do. I also want to thank Greensboro Day School and all the wonderful teachers and coaches along the way who helped prepare my path. To today's graduates, fellow Bengals, today marks the end of an important chapter in your life. Be proud of all that you've accomplished. Embrace this next step and journey into the unknown with excitement, knowing that you are beyond prepared for all that's to come. GDS, your family and friends will always be there to support you and celebrate you as you conquer the roads ahead. Once a Bengal, always a Bengal. Congratulations, the class of 2024. Jeffrey's mother, Juanita Staten, is here to accept the award on his behalf. Congratulations. And time for a wardrobe change. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our graduation speaker, also a GDS alum. Dr. Stephanie Marshall Thompson is here from the class of 1998. Dr. Thompson is a reproductive endocrinologist and infertility specialist at the Institute for Reproductive Medicine and Science at St. Barnabas in Livingston, New Jersey. She is an attending physician in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at St. Barnabas Medical Center. She's also board certified in obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility. Dr. Thompson received her undergraduate degree in Spanish from Wake Forest University, and she received her medical degree from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. She completed her residency at NYU and her fellowship at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School. Her special interests within the field include health and wellness in fertility patients and access to fertility care for minority women. Dr. Thompson is a frequent speaker on these topics and has appeared on CNN's Birth with Lisa Lang and Dr. Oz's show, The Dr. Oz Show. Dr. Thompson most recently appeared on a television documentary titled Stories We Tell, The Fertility Secret, and The Tamron Hall Show. It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Thompson to the podium as our graduation speaker.
Thank you all. Good morning, and congratulations to the graduates of the class of 2024. I am truly honored and humbled to be your graduation speaker today, and I'm full of excitement to be back at GDS. Thank you to the faculty and staff, especially to your head of school, Tracy Catlett, as well as the Board of Trustees, my classmate who's the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Durant Bell, for having me today. 98 was the best. I hope to share just a few thoughts as you go out into the world. How many of you know the North Carolina state motto? For those of you who don't, it's esse quam videre, which is Latin for to be rather than to seem. Those 7th grade Latin classes at GDS definitely have come in handy. The motto stems from the Roman philosopher Marcus Tullius Cicero's essay on friendship, in which he details how to be a good friend. I won't go into the particulars, but the essay emphasizes adhering to a moral code, honesty, and the joy of human connection, something that I believe we have lost over the past few decades as social media has taken over our lives and we lived through the COVID pandemic. Over the past few years, I have somewhat adopted esse quam videre as my personal motto. And aside from its original intentions on friendship, I take this to mean to be true to yourself always, regardless of the amount of outside influence that you may have. While this may seem basic to you all, the class of 2024, you face challenges and pressures that I never could have imagined graduating in 1998. At that time, there was no Instagram, no Snapchat, no TikTok, and Mark Zuckerberg was still learning how to code. The most we had was AOL Instant Messenger, and email was slow and dial-up. My freshman class at Wake Forest University was one of the first in the country to receive an IBM ThinkPad. The entire class got a brand new IBM ThinkPad. Sad to say, I'm still using an IBM ThinkPad at work, and I don't think there's been much improvement since then. Sorry to anyone who works for IBM in here. My sophomore year of college, when I studied abroad in Spain, we had to go to actual internet cafes to use the internet, okay? No Wi-Fi existed. Anyway, when I graduated from Greensboro Day School in 1998, I wasn't the most popular. I wasn't the prettiest. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't the best at, quite frankly, anything. I struggled with being one of 3 black girls in my class and the social stigmas that often came with that. But I knew who I was. I knew that to get far in life, I needed to understand who I was and what I stood for. I needed to be who I was to my core and not seem to be anyone else. I couldn't allow my desires to be cool or fit in to deter me from the light at the end of the tunnel. This sense of self was instilled in me by my Jamaican parents, who make sure I knew everything about my heritage and gave me every opportunity to excel and to learn about the world inside and outside of America. So no one could tell me otherwise. Many of you have had these same opportunities, but your challenges today are very different than mine. Class of 2024, you live in a world where even those opportunities and directions won't keep you from the uncertainties and difficulties of a world of social media, instant gratification, and no rest from constant stimulation around you. While Amazon Prime may make our lives easier, and Instagram helps us to keep up with our friends, many of us struggle behind the scenes, and it's okay. We struggle to differentiate from our own reality, our own being, from forms of entertainment, such as the music that we listen to, often violent or offensive, or to the TikTok videos that we watch that often promote crazy schemes like holding your breath until you pass out. These things that may encourage us to do things that we know are not right. These things may encourage us to portray people who are not our true selves to seem like someone we are not. But you, Greensboro Day School, class of 2024, you are masters of friendship, scholarship, and sportsmanship. You have been equipped with all of the tools necessary to make sure that you stay true to your core self, no matter what the outside world looks like. You all have developed a strong sense of morals and ethics in your core that will guide you in this world. You have been put on this earth to do something great. And if it hasn't come to you yet, It will. However, along the way, the best advice that I can give you is to just be yourselves. Carry yourselves with dignity and pride. Don't be afraid to speak up when you have a gut feeling that something around you is just not right. As they constantly tell us in the New York tri-state area, if you see something, say something. Don't be afraid to be an outlier, to speak up for what you believe in, to be a leader and not a follower. And if your friends don't come with you, that's okay. Because guess what? Cicero's principles on friendship included the fact that friendship and relationships should not be transactional. Friendships are for advice, companionship, and support. You know you are great. You know you are prepared for the world, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So as the great state of North Carolina, oh, how I miss it here, tells us, you will be. Be fearless, be brave, be confident, be you. Your being truly has a purpose here on this earth. You have so much opportunity to do good and to make sure that all people are being treated fairly and with compassion. You carry the burden of improving humanity on your backs, and I challenge you all to do so. When we look around at everything going on in the world, it's clear you have a lot of work cut out for you, but I know you can do it. Class of 2024, go and conquer the world. Veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Clearly, I had a good time in 7th grade Latin. Should you ever waver, think back upon this speech and think about the people in this room who support you and will continue to guide you. Because a man or woman who stands for nothing will fall for anything. Go forward and do great things, class of 2024. You've got this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. That was awesome. Yesterday at our faculty and staff luncheon, we recognized a special person, Carol Williams. Will you please stand up? Carol Williams. Carol Williams was honored with her faculty and staff yesterday, and she received the James P. Hendricks Jr. Excellence for Teaching Award. Carol, congratulations on all your accomplishments. And now it's time to get on the real reason we're here, to award the diplomas. All right, Mr. Cook.
Joining us on stage today is Durant Bell, board chair and GDS alumnus from the class of '98. I'd also like to invite Trish Morris, our most tenured faculty member, to please join us for the awarding of the diplomas. Mr. Bell and Dr. Catlett, it is my pleasure to confirm for you this morning that each of the members of the class of 2024 who is sitting on stage with us today has met the requirements established by Greensboro Day School for graduation, and so is qualified to receive their diploma.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. On behalf of the Greensboro Day School Board of Trustees, I'm proud to congratulate the class of 2024. Acting under the delegation of powers by the Board of Trustees, I authorize you, Mr. Cook, to confer the diplomas. Mr. Williams, I would invite you to the podium to read the names of our graduates as they cross the stage to receive their diplomas. Seniors, please stand.
Sophia Alos Brazow. Falou Elsie Amau. Riley Grace Anderson. Hannah Noelle Armstrong. Lily Barg. Kyler Shea Baxter. Bryn Eiley Booker. Sophia Marie Brennan. Joseph Michael Carbone, Jr. Kai Carlson. Thomas Connor Chapman. Jake Andrew Cohen. In absentia, Lillian Meredith Coladonado. Lillian could not be with us today. She has a sibling graduating from university. Carson Hill Collins. Gavin Greason Craven. Andrew Michael Dahlstead. Owen Samuel Dandy. Lillian Claire Driver. Thomas James Dumble. Jiaying Vicky Ge. Carson Robert Goodrich. Abigail Rose Gwinnett. Sophia Lynn Harlow. Jacob Green Haverland. James William Haviland. Alfonso Charles Hopkins. Max Miles Howarth. Claire Sarah Hua. Louis Allen Ayupa. William Tracy Jacobs. Bradley Tyler Johnson VI. Lawson Garrett Jones. Anna Leah Kate Keiko. Isa Ziad Khan. Guangyu Frank Lan. Fengzhu Aiden Lee. Grace Ann Lopez. Margaret Dinwiddie Manning. Max Jennings McGinn. Lee Phillips McMillian Goodman. Leali Monet McNeil. Adrian A. Mendoza Machado. Heather Elizabeth Michael. Mary Grace Miller. Stella Christine Navin. Avery Caroline Noble. William Etheridge Otto. Caroline Elizabeth Owens. Ellis Elizabeth Parr. Sarah Elizabeth Parrish. Lauren Elizabeth Penfield. Camille May Poole. Elliot Louise Porter. Darius Jeremiah Sincere Pritchett. Gabriel Lamar Rich. Maya Lena Rokel. Isabella Manning Sajeski. Audrey Shaw. Berkeley Francis Smith. Lucas Sorgi Pedroso. Paulo Sotomayor Gumaresh. Aaliyah Marie Stewart. Emma Sophia Strasser. Alan Winfield Sutton III. Jules Frederick Lodewijk Verhoeven. Elias Samuel Wang. Mandy Wong. Zihan Kelly Yao. Lingxiao Eric Zhang.
Okay, seniors, you have 2 items under your chair. One is a small gift from me, but one is a more important thing, your caps. If you would, grab those and put those on. You may move your tassels to the left. And friends, I present to you the class of 2024. And before we conclude today, we're going to sing our alma mater. So please stay standing and join us in that song. Seniors, or actually alumni, thank you for the legacy and the impact that you will leave behind. And please remember to stay in touch and stay connected. And once a bingle, always a bingle. Thank you for everything you've done to make us a better institution. Families, graduates, and all of our guests, please join us in the auxiliary gym for reception. And now it's time, alumni, for you to go and be. Congratulations.